Yeah, the tournament win comes very late, I think, but that was good for my mental. That was good for darts for me.
What were your emotions when you were drawn against Michael van Gerwen?
Before the game was MVG, I was easy, no problem for me.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Tungsten Talk on Pluto TV, where we look into the lives of dart players from all around the world, because here at the MODUS Super Series we get people from all over the world to throw little bits of tungsten at a mat, and they do so very effectively. And today we're going to be having a chat with one of Germany's finest players from the last 15 years, René Eidams, and we are joined by one of the finest England captains ever in Scott Mitchell. René, thanks for joining us this morning. And we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about German darts. But first and foremost, I'd love to know from you where darts became important for you when you were younger.
Yeah, I start with soft tip in the pub from my parents. And I think 2014 was my first PDC event. I played first time darts with steel tip. And then I qualified for the first European tour in Hildesheim, and that was the start for me.
Let us just talk about soft tip darts first and foremost, because soft tip darts in Germany, Austria, other European countries, they call it e-dart or soft tip darts. It's a very big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, in Germany, I think the last 20 years was bigger than steel tip in Germany. In my home city, every pubs, you can only play soft tip, no steel tip in my city.
So tell us what has changed. What was it that actually gave you the motivation to go and play steel tip darts instead of soft tip darts?
Yeah, money. Money and TV shows and so on. Yeah, I start looking the first World Championships in Germany, and then I say, wow, that's great. And I want to play steel tip.
Scott, we can't say anything against that answer, can we? Because we're all human beings. We live in a capitalistic world. We are motivated by passion, of course. But obviously, René is saying that money talks.
I think it does. And I think that is probably why after everybody's initial induction into darts and playing darts, you then realise that you're quite good at it. And hang on a minute, I can help pay the bills at home here. This is really good. I enjoy doing this. This is my hobby. This is going to be a bit of fun for me. But hey, hang on. I can pay the electric bill next week if I win this tournament on Sunday. And I think we've all gone down that route. It's when you start relying on it as that, then you come into problems. But I think it's drawn many, many players because they got good quickly straight into the top end of the game.
The European Tour you mentioned, René, was a way for you to play against better players in Germany who would maybe travel from the UK or from outside of Europe. Just tell us from your perspective what it's been like to have so many great events in Germany on big stages over the years.
Yeah, I think the crowd in Germany is so big and so good, and we have so many peoples in Germany, they love the sport. Yeah? I think the starts for sports is passion, it's normal. Yeah, and then comes some good friend for you and said, oh, you're better than the other guys. You have to start a professional career. And in Germany, that was now bigger and bigger. We have so many good young players, and I think the European tours and the challenge tours in Germany is a great opinion for the players.
Moving forward, obviously, the German Super League, as it was known, is now known as the PDC Europe Super League. The first winner was Andre Velger, who was known as probably the best player in Germany at that time, with the now late, great Thomas Seiler.
Yeah.
But you won this tournament, this German Super League, in 2015. Just tell everybody how difficult that tournament is, because it's a very long format event, isn't it?
Yeah, when I win the tournament, we play 5 days. One day, one play day, you play all over the players. 16 players is in a group. And that was a long time to go, from February to November. November is the final, the big final, and yeah, in the table I was not qualified for the final, and then I comes through because Max Hopp was qualified for the Worlds, and Dragutin Horvath have an accident with his ankle, right. And then I was in the final, and I think, wow, that was not my plans. And then we played 2 4 groups. I lost 2 games in a 4 group, and I think, okay, I'm out. No, I'm not out. I'm still in. And after this, I play darts. I love it, and for me was then not so difficult.
Well,
next to lose. Yeah.
Winning that Super League qualified you for the World Darts Championship at Alexandra Palace, and everybody who speaks about you will reference what happened next, because your draw for the 2016 World Championship at Alexandra Palace, you were playing the best player in the world at the time, and probably the best player of this generation. What were your emotions when you were drawn against Michael van Gerwen?
Yeah, I was at work and see the draw, and I say, wow, that was a big opinion for me to stay on a big stage with the best player from the sport. And I think, yeah, have fun, play darts, win a leg. Yeah, that was my plans.
Were you feeling nervous before the game? I know that the climb up the steps towards the arena is known as a bit of a nerve-wracking thing, but what were your emotions before the game?
Before the game was MVG, I was easy. No problem for me. I have a pre-round game, and that was very cheeky for me. That was not good game. I play versus Tanawat, Gaven and Tawong. I know.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, yeah, there was very nervous game, and yeah, I win, and then play versus MVG, easy.
When you were playing against Michael, you obviously gave yourself a really good chance to get victory, which may have been seen if you'd won as one of the biggest shocks ever. But tell everybody watching this just how it felt to be involved in that game with the crowd, with Michael, with everything involved.
I don't know. Yeah. Now I cannot remember in the situation I stay on the stage. The last remember I have, he go 2-0 up. I won nothing legs, and then I said, come on, we go to the break, and please hold 1 leg. And then this was my target, and yeah, that's happened. And then I play darts. I feel darts, but I have no remember in this moment.
So you don't think of any moments in that game where you maybe could have got across the line?
No, thinking about yet. Now I can win the game. No.
Do you actually think of watching that game back at any point?
Yes. Yeah, much time. Yeah, really.
Well, I think at some point we're going to have to watch that game back. Now, René, I wanted to ask you about your nickname, The Cube. Where did it come from?
That comes from Mike Langendorf. I play on the Super League final, 2015, and after this we have a soft tip tournament, and we need a nickname for me. And he said, you look like a Würfel, in English is cube. That was my shaping for my body, and I say, yeah, it's a good idea.
How would you feel if someone called you a cube, Scott?
Well, back at that time, if it was Michael Langendorf, I'd have took it, because he was one of the great players that we all remember. So maybe it was nice that he even knew who you were back then, because you were so new. So yeah, it's one of those. I'm pleased that people didn't nickname me what I look like, but so I kind of nicknamed myself the dog pretty early. So yeah, no, I it's funny how the nicknames come around for many players. There seems to be no rhyme or reason for it. I mean, you know, one I think of is Chris Dobie's called Hollywood, and the reason he's called Hollywood because he was playing with a hat on, and somebody thought he was being a real showman, so they called him Hollywood in a local pub, and that stuck. So for lots of people, the nicknames do not come from where you think they would come from.
No.
When it comes to what happened in the years after the World Championship appearance, you did have a long look at yourself, and you changed your lifestyle because you lost a lot of weight. Tell us about that.
Yeah, after I have an operation for my stomach, and then I lost much weight, and it was not so easy to play darts. I have other things to eat and other things to drink. No, gas, water with only gas. Yeah, and that is not so easy to manage this with darts.
As for what happened between 2016 and maybe the start of the pandemic, tell us about what kind of darts you were playing at the time. Was it purely just trying to play at the second level, maybe getting into European Tour events with the home nation qualifiers? Is that the kind of thing that you were doing?
No, I think I have to go the professional way, and I play the qualifications for UK Open and go to the Q School and play all tournaments they can play. And in this time, I own my own company. I grew up my own company, and this spent very much time for me. And my practice time in the last 3 years was not very much.
So when the pandemic does hit, German darts became something that a lot of people watched with the infamous Lollipop Man.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Deddy, our friend, he was the guy who was doing the lollipop of telling you when you could go and when you couldn't? Tell us about that tournament.
Yeah, that was crazy tournament. The players was not safe. It is good or not good with the pandemic, but this time we have 1 week for our brand, for our head. We can play darts. Only darts is now the thing, and that was then a good time for us. But the playing style with Lollipop Man was not so easy for us.
After the pandemic had dissipated somewhat, this project came around, and we started, Scott, with a lot of domestic players from England, Scotland, Wales, and we were screaming for players from Europe and around the world. Just tell everybody at home who's watching this what it was like, where we were really wanting to have international players, but we couldn't.
Yeah, it was a difficult thing because it was being all set up online and via the internet. It really had to start with UK players that had a good enough internet signal. That was the biggest problem back then. It was having a good enough internet signal. So for some, they were. I mean, I for one had a pylon in the back of my garden. They came round and erected a pylon because it was outside to get me an internet signal. I think Fallon had a similar issue. And it was just something that was needed. It was needed for the mindset. A lot of the players, we were all missing each other was one thing. And to manage to be able to string it along in the UK and get it running, it then needed to be grabbing players from other countries. And it was a difficult time. But if you look back then to what we have now with the Super Series and how it's developed, I think it was the Icons League it was called then initially. And the way it developed from Southampton to now this purpose-built studio, it was a great thing, and it's turned into something even better.
Speaking of Portsmouth, René, we were very, very keen to get you here from the start in around 2021, 2022. But it didn't take you too long to get some success here. So tell us about your weekly win in Portsmouth in front of the fans.
Yeah, that was for me the first time. I was very proud to play here, and my plans was win the tournament. Then it's happened. I stay here with my wife, and the tournament is not so easy for me personally. We go in a practice room. We have no smartphones. We have no social contacts, and normally between the games, I spend much time with my partner and speak over the games or speak all other things to go with the head from darts. Yeah, and it's here not possible, but I think it's you can learn it, and it's good for the mental game when you play on the stage.
Talking about the future of German darts, because you're still part of that, tell us about Nico Springer, because you can take a little bit of credit for him, right?
Yeah. Nico Springer, I see him in a little regionally tournament after 5 or 6, 7 years. And I say, wow, this is a very good player. He's very talented, and I speak to him. I say, come on, we go the next 2 or 3 years together and take some practice time. That was the time there comes Fabian Smutzler. Yeah, I found him on a regionally tournament too, and we have a little group from really young players. Marcel Gerdon playing the Super League. Yeah, and we have much practice time together. But Nico is awesome. He's a very talented player, and I think in the next 1 or 2 years he comes to the top.
A lot of people think he's going to be a big hitter for Germany, but there's still a fair bit of time left for you, René. Ambitions for 2025 moving forward, because you have now won on the Challenge Tour in 2024. That must have made you feel really good.
Yeah, the tournament win comes very late, I think, but that was good for my mental. That was good for darts, for me, for have more plans and targets for the future. But I'm very relaxed. I spend much time to my company, and it's not too easy for me to manage it with practice time. And so I go easy to the next month.
So moving forward, it's just about keeping the ambitions here, Challenge Tour, and maybe the next gen with PDC Europe as well, and just playing at that level and seeing where it takes you.
Yes.
Well, we wish you all the best with your career, René. Thanks for your time this morning. Same goes for you, Scott. It's been fascinating to look into German darts, and if Nico Springer, Marcel Gerdon or Fabian Schmutzler do anything, it's all his fault because he found them, and we can't wait for him to find some more players. That's been us on the Tungsten Talk. Keep it here on Pluto TV.